Hello, welcome to Awakening Consciousness Tarot. My name is Michael and I'm going to be doing a reading in this video for the 3rd of February 2021. It's going to be a general reading, it's going to be for all signs. So take from the reading what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. The timing of the reading is also fluid, so if you come across this video after the 3rd of February and you feel inclined to watch it, then there might be a message in the reading for you. For the reading, I'm going to be using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot deck. I'm also going to be using Power Animal Oracle cards, and I will also be using Healing with the Angels Oracle deck. Okay, so give the cards a shuffle and see what messages we have for 3rd of February 2021. So messages for the 3rd of February 2021, please. Oh, some are jumping out already. Excuse me while I pick those up. So 3rd of February 2021. All right, so the first card for today is 5 of Cups. So 5 of Cups can be about grief, it can be about loss, it can be about emotional pain, it can be about crying over spilt milk, but usually not. You know, it's very much about, for me, going through the process of loss and honouring that process of grieving, not rushing through it, allowing yourself to feel the emotions that you need to feel before you are able to let these cups go and turn around and see the 2 cups that are still standing, and then move in the direction of these cups over the bridge, over to the castle, towards something new. But it does suggest that this is a journey. So you have this water flowing past here, this river flowing, like representing emotions. So you have to let those emotions flow through your system to allow yourself to fully heal. Now let's see what other cards we have on the back of this 5 of Cups. That's the High Priestess. So it's about getting in touch with your inner self, your inner wisdom. So the High Priestess, following on from the 5 of Cups, could suggest that there was a loss of connection with self, a loss of your connection to the High Priestess, and it might be that you are reconnecting with this inner knowledge, with this inner wisdom, with this internal feminine power. Yes, so there's definitely an energy of feminine power here. We have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is about compassion. The Queen of Cups has experienced the emotional highs and lows in the same way that the High Priestess has. She has the dark pillar and the light pillar on the card, representing sort of heaven and hell, or difficult times and good times, and she sits balanced in the middle. In the minor arcana, and then the Queen, although it's a court card, it's still in the minor arcana. The Queen has, as I say, she's experienced the up, she's experienced the down, she's experienced the dark side. So you can see the kind of like dark horns here on this chalice that she's holding, and then there's kind of the beautiful parts as well. So she's experienced the ugliness, she's experienced the beauty, and as she looks at this chalice, you can see that she's grateful for it all. So she's been through this 5 of Cups energy, and with hindsight, she sees the beauty and the value of it. And again, with the way these cards are out, you have this dark energy of the 5 of Cups next to the dark pillar, and then you have the light energy here next to the Queen of Cups. So it is suggesting a transition from a dark place, a dark phase, into into the light and into a place where the experience of this emotion has been integrated and then turned into something of value. And you have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight is not quite king or queen. So if you think of the kings and queens in the tarot deck, they are like the mature energy, the adult energy. The Knight energy is somewhat adolescent energy. So it's not a child, it's not an adult, it's somewhere in between. So the Knight of Cups, after the Queen of Cups, and following on from the High Priestess, it's suggesting that you sort of feel your way through the emotions and gain maturity by doing that, in the same way that an adolescent is really just sort of feeling they're in this sort of no man's land almost between childhood and adulthood, and they're just kind of feeling their way through. And then when they reach adulthood, they have that foundation of their adolescent years to build on. So, as I say, you might be going through some kind of emotional process here that will ultimately lead you to this emotional maturity, and it's guided by this High Priestess energy which is within you. You have the Ace of Swords as the card of the Archangel Michael. So if you have the Archangel Michael as a spirit guide, or if you, Archangel Michael is a spirit guide to anyone, I believe. But if you particularly resonate with the Archangel Michael, then call on that energy to help break you out of whatever this is. But just know that, as I was saying before, it is a process that you go through as you are liberating yourself from these heavier, darker energies. And it is a journey. It's sort of, like I said, a little bit like going through adolescence. It's just sort of a passage of life that we go through, and again, which is guided by this High Priestess energy. So if you can connect into that, it will certainly help you to navigate that path. We have the Emperor. So the Emperor has won, the Emperor has lost. He has been through a lot. He's experienced this grief. He's gone down that path, and he's old, wise and powerful as a result of that. So I get the feeling that there is certainly some sort of energy of initiation in this reading. And if you go through that initiation process, and again, just to reassure you, you're guided through that and protected through that initiation process. It might be an emotional process of grieving, of loss, letting go. It will give you this sort of stoicism that the Emperor has. It gives you a strong foundation represented by this strong throne that he sits upon. And you have the Justice, so another throne card. So you have this character here, the Justice card, sitting on the throne. Justice is also about bringing things into balance, karma, reaping what you've sown. So it's not necessarily saying that you're being punished for this. It's just a path that you go down as part of life, whatever it happens to be. I don't know what it is specifically, but this might mean something specific to somebody, that whatever it is you're going through, eventually it will come into balance. And I get a sense of there is some sort of injustice here. So it might be that this grief has come from an injustice that's taken place, either to you personally or to something or something collectively. And this Ace of Swords is bringing in this sword. And another sword here. This Ace of Swords is bringing that back into balance. This can be to do with perhaps masculine energy dominating feminine energy as well. So we have this Emperor, you have this High Priestess. It can be that perhaps the masculine aspect of yourself, or you've been in an environment where there's been masculine energy which has kind of suppressed the High Priestess energy, the inner knowing, the inner wisdom, and that's caused pain, that's caused difficulty, and it's time for that to heal and come back to the forefront. But I'm going to pull some more cards, see what else comes out. That's the Two of Wands. So there's a new start, a new direction. Yeah, so it's good to see that at the beginning. We have that one. This is the middle card of the reading, and then you have the Five of Cups as the initial card. It's like a new start. It's like it's saying, it's almost like I can see this wand here as being like whatever it was from the past has sort of healed up, and it's been put behind you. It's the same thing with the Queen of Cups. She goes through this, but there comes a point where it's healed, and then it might be a scar, but it doesn't bother her anymore. It's a trauma or a difficulty or something that's come along that goes into her, for want of a better word, like a portfolio of experiences, if you like. So you put it down to experience, and then head off in a different direction. And as I said, with the Justice card, the Justice can be karma, and karma isn't always necessarily about being punished or rewarded for good or bad behavior. It's just lessons that you learn, the things that you go through, as an inevitable part of life. A Three of Pentacles. There's working with others. So it could be to do with using your intuitive and feminine gifts. We do live and have lived in a world which is quite dominated by this kind of male energy, this masculine energy, and there's nothing wrong with that in and of itself. But if it's not balanced with sort of compassion for the Queen of Cups and an intuitive wisdom, it can cause problems. We can end up sort of working too hard for and not thinking about the consequences. So that this might be what you're grieving. This might be that maybe there's some work that you're doing that you don't believe in, and you want to be more caring. You want to work with people in a more compassionate, intuitive way. And again, underneath this Knight of Cups, it would suggest that that's perhaps where you're heading. So if this is to do with work for you, it might be that, try and find some work that gives you more emotional fulfillment. Turn your back on something which is maybe, I don't know, paying the bill. I mean, we all got to pay the bills and everything, but it is also important that you find something that is emotionally fulfilling for you. This Ace of Swords, as I say, it's also the Archangel Michael card. That can be energy that can help to bring you into alignment with your vocation, with your calling. So if you found yourself off track, ask for assistance to get yourself back into alignment with what it is, whatever your divine purpose in life happens to be. And it's the Seven of Wands Seven of Cups underneath the Ace of Swords. So it's just sort of cutting out all these kind of treasures here that look like they might be fulfilling, but they're actually not. See, when you fulfill your calling in life, you don't need all of the trinkets and so on, because you have a certain amount of internal satisfaction from doing what is, from answering your calling. And it might be that that's what's causing the grief. Perhaps these things are not fulfilling you and it's making you sad. We have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is assisted carriage to somewhere else, away from choppy waters into calmer waters. So there is definitely a feeling of being liberated from something difficult and not being afraid to ask for help, either from another person or divine help, or however you understand the divine. Asking for assistance to break you out of a situation that is keeping you in the dark. And the Two of Pentacles. So this is suggesting, maybe just try something new, step out of your comfort zone a little bit. You see this person, they're sort of toddling along, so it's almost like a toddler who's just started learning to walk, but then they might fall over. Don't worry if you do that, just follow your intuition and try to stay balanced, and you'll be fine. And so you'll be assisted here with this Six of Swords. But I definitely get a feeling of like a new horizon, definitely to do with work, and where the actual work itself is rewarding, rather than the sort of, sometimes this can be a card of, I work this job, doing whatever, it pays well, and I get to buy this house and this car and all of these jewels and all this stuff, go on these holidays, but, do those things fulfill me, and two, is it worth the amount of work and perhaps emotional sacrifice that I have to put in order to get the money, to get the things that don't really satisfy me that much, Might be good to just cut them out, try something new, and let it go and go in a new direction. King of Swords, and this is another energy of just cutting out things that are just not good for you. So I just get the feeling with this Emperor under the grief here, you might have a boss who's just, you don't like working for this person, and it just doesn't work out, and it might just be time to take up this sword and leave it behind, cut it out, leave it behind you, and try something new. Take a chance at something new. They have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords can be about disappointment, heartbreak. It's under this Three of Pentacles here, so it can be to do with work, collaboration with others, can be to do with betrayal, which can be causing this grief here. Next to the Seven of Cups, it can be about deluding yourself that you're going in the right way when perhaps you're not. But I just want to bring your attention back to this Ace of Swords, because this is the energy that can really help to liberate you from that, and then help you to move in the direction that is right for you. But it is a matter of just saying, okay, pulling these swords out of the heart, saying, all right, this hurts, but it's better than being stuck over here. And there's Death as the last card. So definitely the end of something and the birth of something new. So sometimes we can invest a lot of time and energy in a certain project or a certain vocation or a job or a relationship or whatever. And then when it doesn't work and it just causes heartbreak, it causes grief, you know, there might be unhealthy power dynamics taking place. There might be sort of unfairness and imbalance taking place. Sometimes you just have to let it go and let something else come in to take its place. And I get the feeling that's what's going on with this reading. It's really about grieving the loss of something that, although it, if you like, it hasn't worked, it has been of value in the sense that it's given you experience in whatever way. It's perhaps hurt here. It's had this Three of Swords, but the Queen of Cups has been hurt, but she's healed from that, or she heals from it, and that turns this pain turns into compassion. It turns into compassion for others. You have this Queen of Cups and this High Priestess next to one another can suggest, you know, perhaps being a counselor to someone else or to others, or doing something like that in a professional capacity, offering that cup of love, that cup of emotion, and putting out your hand with a sword of strength because you've been through certain things, and assisting other people in that direction. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to pull an animal card to see what they say, and a moose. You know what's best for you. So when you have the High Priestess here, this is like saying listen to your intuition, and even if there is some kind of patriarchal figure saying you can't do this and you can't do that and this is the way it's always been done, etc., 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 and as painful as that can be and as sad as that can make you, at the end of the day you are your own boss. So, you know, let that go, head off in your own direction, be your own boss, learn from this, whatever's been going on over here, these karmic lessons, and put that, as I say, in your kind of treasure trove of experience that you can draw on later. And one angel card to finish the reading. And is new love. Yeah, so healing your heart, a new sense of love and respect for yourself. I really just get a feeling here that there is just some kind of disrespectful energy towards someone or whoever, if that resonates with you. And just, you know what's best for you. Don't put up with it, really. Call in, you know, if someone is mistreating you, call in the angels of karma. Say, you know, report it to them. Say, look, universe, please bring balance back into this situation because it's making me sad and making me upset. I want to cut it out of my life, and I want to have a new start with something that is more of a horizon to it and more opportunities. Okay, so that's the reading for today. I hope it's been helpful. I'll be posting another reading tomorrow. If you'd like a private reading in the meantime, then there is a link in the description box. If you click on that, it will take you to a page where there is information as to how you can make a booking. So I'll speak to you again tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yes, I'll see you again then. Okay, bye-bye.